Imagine if, as a mom, everything you did right, every little thing that you did above and beyond was recognized at every moment, at the exact moment that you did it. Instead of what usually happens inside of mom's brain, unfortunately, because of social pressures, which is, self-judgment about whether I'm being a good mom or not, right? The way that I understand maternal learning breaks down to understanding how, even with a child's own brain, there are systems that are more childlike and parts of the brain that are more maternal. Specifically, the brainstem, if we think of that as kind of the child part of the brain, the one that can get a little reactive, but can be equally intuitive, right? And then thinking of the neocortex as kind of the maternal or paternal part of the brain. Now, there's an important aspect for the paternal part, which is to shut things down if things get a little too crazy. Imagine driving to an exciting vacation destination, but your kids are just completely cutting up in the back of the car, right? Dad, often you find the paternal figure shutting things down in that situation to keep everybody safe. And so make sure that we actually get to the destination or return home at least safely. But mom often finds herself, or the maternal figure in the family often finds herself attending to problems, especially if you have a neurodiverse child. You find yourself attending to kind of the gaps in education between what school offers and what your child needs. So think of that happening within your child's brain, as if parts of the neocortex are different maternal aspects of the brain that get highly developed when parts of the child part of the brain, the brainstem, are kind of under stress. We see this as actually the recipe for brilliance that we can cultivate by affirming every aspect that's been developed already, whether it was under stress or it was within a more nurturing environment with mom. Either way, by affirming those things that have been built, we can redirect things that can often, neural processes that often sound like self-judgment, and redirect that level of critical thinking toward the outside world, and specifically the test, in ways that we are personally amazed in terms of what students are able to do. And this goes back to our philosophy, is that if we focus on the student and focus on changing the learner, and what we mean by that is really excavating the brilliance that already existed with students, what they've really developed with mom and dad early on in childhood, and really focus on returning that love of learning, that innate curiosity, along with just fun. We find that students are able to learn at a lightning pace, and it's just exhilarating. And it makes that exhilaration makes the stress and the potential self-judgment kind of melt away through connection. And that's how I capitalize on maternal learning in my work with students.